And this is 7-9 continued. We're on journal page 241. Okay, you are going to need to take your journal page and flip it so you can read along with me. Kind of an odd one today, but here we go. The hole on the number lines below is the distance between 0 and 1. We knew that from math message, 0 and 1. Partition, remember, we hear that word part. So kind of like pieces, part. Partition each number line to locate and label the given fraction. Hint, it's usually important. On some number lines, there is more than one hole. Okay, let's figure this out. So we need to partition them with the given fraction. Right here is our given fraction, 1/3. First, we should figure out how many holes are on this number line. Well, I see this number line goes from 0 to 1, and I know that a hole is 0 to 1. So how many holes do we have? We have one hole from here all the way to here. That is our hole. Great. Now we need to partition it, break it apart into thirds. Well, we need to find 1/3 on the number line, but when we look at the denominator, our downstairs neighbor, our denominator, that tells us how many equal parts to break it into. So so what are we going to partition this into? How many parts? You're right, 3 equal parts. So I can't start by splitting my number line in half. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to break it into thirds. Does that really mean that I need 3 lines? No, it doesn't, because this is 0, but remember, this counts as lines. So I need 2 more lines to go in here. Let's see. I'm going to say right about here and right about here. Is it going to be exact? No, but we are pretty close. So did I break that apart into 3 equal parts? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Good. Remember, we start at 0, so we do not count this. We broke it into 3 equal parts. What is the distance from each little notch we made? It's 1/3. This is 1/3. This also equals 1/3. And this also equals 1/3, because this part right here is 1 part out of 1, 2, 3 equal parts. Great. So it's asking us to label the given fraction. So where is 1/3 going to be? Well, if I have 1 out of my 1/3, so 1/3 is right here. Outstanding. Okay. Oh, that's going to bring us into our next number line. Our next number line is, well, 0 to 1. So here, this number line is our hole. We need to figure out where 2/6 is going to be. Well, up above, we have thirds. And if we know about fractions, if I draw a line in between, if I split these in half, our denominator doubles. So I'm going to do 1/3. I'm just going to copy my lines down here. Because how many equal parts do I need? 2/6. Well, we have to look at the denominator. The denominator is 6. That means that this hole is being broken into, it's being partitioned into 6 parts. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, but I'm going to cut those parts in half and it's going to double. Watch and see. We can even check our answers. If I start at 0, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome. We have 6 equal parts. We partition them into 6 parts. This whole is split into 6 equal parts, and we need to label 2/6. Let's find out. 1, 2, 2/6. You might be already thinking about something about these 2 fractions we have just drawn. Okay, so, dun dun dun. What? Oh my goodness. What am I trying to ask you? Okay, I want you to identify a fraction that's equal to 2/6. So here's 2/6. Which one's equivalent to 2/6? Well, look at that. If we split our line, 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6 because they're on the same spot on the number line. Right now, I have 6/6 as my whole. I have 6 equal parts out of 6 total. Oh, so that equals 1 whole. What fraction is equivalent to 6/6? Well, if we look up here, 3/3, 3/3, because both of these are in the same spot on the number line, they both equal a whole. Awesome. Okay, we're going to keep going. Next number line says 3/4. We want to find, well, let's see, 0 to 1. So this whole number line, this is a whole. We need to find 3/4. Well, again, remember, we need to look at the denominator to see what we're going to partition this line in to break apart. We need 4 equal parts on this line, but I'm only going to draw 3 lines because this is our 4th line. Remember what I said, though. If I draw a half, this is about half. Okay. I have 1, 2 parts. But remember, we can split parts in half to double them, because if I have a half, it means my denominator is 2, and now I need to double it because I need 4. So break this in half, break this in half, and let's see how many parts we have. How many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful, but we need to find 3/4. So I'm going to go 1/4, add another 1/4, that gives us 2/4, add another 1/4, that gives us 3/4. Label that one. Okay, next one, 6/8. I'm going to use that same strategy. I know if I look at the denominator, it tells me how many equal parts to split this whole into. I'm going to need 8 parts, but I just need to double my fraction from before. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts, and I need to split each of them so that I double it and I get 8 equal parts. So these are about halfway between. Count with me to see how many equal parts we have. Let's make sure it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do that one too. 8 hops. We know we have 8 equal parts. Let's find 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/8. What other fraction is 6/8 equivalent to or equal to? Well, if I follow it up, we know it's 3/4 because it's the same spot on the number line, which means they are the same distance from 0. So they're equivalent, they're equal. If I make this 8 equal pieces out of 8, what number is equivalent to 8/8? What fraction? Well, if we go right above, we know 4/4 is equivalent to 8/8 because they're both a whole. They're the same distance from 0, so they are equal to each other. All right, it says try this. Ooh, this one looks a little tricky. I'm going to come back up here. Remember, it says on some number lines there is more than one whole. I want you to try this by yourself. First, you need to think how many holes are on this number line. Remember, holes are 0 to 1. So how many holes do you see? And for each hole, how much are we going to break them up into? We'll look at the denominator. So for each hole, break it into 3 parts and figure out where 8/3 would be on the number line. Give it a shot and then go on to the next page and do math boxes. You guys are awesome. We are getting fractions down. This is amazing. Keep up the fantastic work. See ya.